Tom Voxel's probably in the chat.
Hey, Tom Voxel, how are you? Welcome, buddy.
Tom Voxel.
Tom Voxel himself.
Tom Voxel's here. Good morning. Welcome in. So today we're going to be working on Meta Noir, aka Eon, aka O24K and I's game. The puzzles, now that plant behaviors, kind of more or less fix themselves. We were having trouble deleting plants, and I think there still is some troubles. I've been having some weird mixed results. So we're going to be taking a look at our puzzles and hopefully getting back to where we left off in 0.7. Because when we converted it to 0.8, pretty much every inch of work had been, well, ruined. And it's just simply because I was using plant behaviors. So, we're going to see if we can fix it. We've already started, in the last couple weeks. And we're finally getting back into the swing of things. Kay is going to be working on some assets in the near future. He's currently taking a break. So, he's earned it. Had a really, busy drop. And then we might also have a level designer joining us this week. But, yeah. We'll soon see. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in, Mosquita, Tom Voxel, Garnican. Good morning to you. Garnican, I know you're joking, but that is a real fear. That could happen. I did, overhear when the next big patch would be, and let's just say there's a few months. So I ain't got no excuses. Founded in fear. Thanks, Gardican. Okay, so we're working on these spinners here that will rotate. Now, right at this time, okay, the 2 to 3 was perfect. So we're going to take a look at the 2 to 3. I know it doesn't really make sense what I'm talking about until I find it. Okay, so here's 2 to 3. Message activated on spinner.2.2. Okay. has an animated decoration. It starts on 2, plays 1 time, going to 3. Animation speed is normal for each. And then it's destroyed via health component. Before, it was a plant behavior, so we've been converting him to health. And right now I also set up damaging blocks. It looks like I still am using damaging blocks, but I no longer need to. Instead, I can convert these to damaging messages, which is probably going to be a lot more consistent than these damaging blocks. So, what was happening before is like if I hit the reset button, which I don't think... Okay, we do have a reset button. Essentially, hitting the reset button is supposed to damage them all with this blue water. Now instead, I'm going to be swapping that water for damaging messages. So we can see here, and this was a conundrum, a problem we had ever since we started on this puzzle. It was essentially destroying 1 to 3, never 4, never all of them all at once, when the water spawns. So you can see here 1 dies, then 3 die, then they respawn. So it's just a little strange how that interaction was working. Basically, we're swapping to damage messages so all of them can die at the same time. And then we're also taking a look at behind the scenes of each individual dial. Now, I believe I republished these assets, these spinners. I know we fixed them, so it's... We can even see here in this picture that it has the default blank, which we recently made. However, the animation is not currently set to the default, which is unfortunate. So that's the default that I wanted. So if I were to open up the file, what that tells me is that I didn't save it as the default animation. So we don't currently have a default animation. So right now it's just playing the first one, which is exclamation point. So perhaps we won't be working on this particular puzzle. Simply because the digit spinner is not set on the right animation. So I'm going to open up Vox Edit and just double check my work. I think we did that like last month. Woke Zombie resubbing. Thanks, Woke Zombie. My notifications currently broken. It's like once a week this happens. And it started recently, where Stream Elements, basically the company that does my notifications, decides to have maintenance while I'm streaming. So, thank you again, Woke Zombie. That's amazing. Appreciate it. That was the fix for when damage messages were out of the equation. Yeah, we have to fix the fix. Exactly, Tom. That's a funny way to put it, too. Alright, so let's dig through some of my folders here. It should be MN, lock dial. Oh my gosh. The fact that I found it first try, that goes to show that organization helps. So, looking here, I can see that my blank is blue, which means it's defaulted. So I'm not sure why my asset currently is not registering that. So what I might do is cheat it. So let me just scroll this a little bit. So when I say cheat it, I mean essentially put it at the top. So, for example, the exclamation point was at the top here. So I'm gonna word blank to where it's at the top. Yo! OG Shakespeare, welcome. Bringing the raid. What's up, everybody? We're revisiting Eon. Woo! Woo! Welcome in. The OG bringing the raid. How was your stream, my friend? Ian the IT guy, hello. Welcome. Sparky Snickle, good morning. Well, looking forward to your stream. Still aiming for after me. Wicked you too, good morning. Huddle Hill. Stay in bed, Huddle. Alina Honeys, welcome. SSK Wolf, what's up, dude? Your NFT and also a couple other NFTs have been ready to go. I haven't minted them yet, so I apologize for the delay. But they're ready. They're good. Caratros, what's up? Yokes on you, what's up? Welcome. Playing Thunderbird Experience. Oh, OG. Is it good? Should I be excited? Okay, so in order to fake this, basically I'm going to put a symbol in front of the blank, so it's in the front. Like it's literally at the top. Now, we got to find the symbols that will put it in the front. So we can see here that exclamation point does put it at the top. So I will rename this one to Xcla. Cool. And then we'll set this one as the default. So now it's kind of forcing this asset to have this as the default animation. Before I had it blue, but still in game, it was showing up not at the top of the list. In fact, the animation name, it's just picking as none. So like the animation's there. I know I re-exported it because I made it, then re-exported it. So, strange bug, but I can at least do my best to encourage it to use the animation I want it to. So unfortunately, that particular puzzle, probably not going to be able to do right now. Because animations. Now, we do get to revisit my water puzzle. Yay! Yay! So let's see what happens if I just interact with it normally. Okay, so we had started working on it because our plant behaviors were not being removed. However, they are being removed currently, but it seems as though other things are not working, such as our plugs are not spawning correctly. That also reminds me that my plugs I need to reorient because again 0.8 broke them. So reorient plugs. So probably just gonna hop into VoxEdit and fix that. So basically when I pick up these plugs, they're supposed to like spin in my hand, or that's how they were designed before, but then we had to remove that. So let us leaf. Let's go ahead and fix that first. So basically take this and we want to find pickable and speaker. We want to change the way it's looking. So we have a speaker component that's looking for certain tags. That's right, we wanted it to like pivot to where it was always facing our giant batteries. And unfortunately, speaker components do not work the same way as they did in 0.7. So it's not going to be sending out a message and thus rotating very often. Okay, I'm thinking. Vox Magana, what's up, dude? Paul, how are you? Welcome. Oh, outstanding level design by Thunderbirds. Ooh, I'm looking forward to it. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I want this to rotate using this speaker component. There's an interesting thought. Now, the way speaker components work right now is if the asset is within this space, it's not going to rotate. So basically, it'll rotate once. It won't continually rotate. So, we want this to have the green tag. And let's see what happens. So I pick up the battery, and I bring it close. It's supposed to be detecting the green battery. However, we're not getting proof of that. So let's take another look here. So we want include tag green. We want look at target. And we want detect entity. Detection range, we're going to lower. So basically it's supposed to detect the green box and then rotate to face it. That's what's supposed to be happening. So it's not rotating at all. It's rotating to face me. There it goes. Okay, it is rotating. However, it seems to only do that once. But if I leave the space and then come back, still not resetting. Okay. We'll take another look at the speaker settings, and this time I'm going to have it say something. So we'll say... You can do it! You can do it! What's up, 987A? Good morning. Good timing as always. Halfd0rk says there's a snapshot in a couple hours for the holders of the Thunderbirds Mint Pass. Not sure what for, but they're cheap. Ooh. Halfd0rk, thanks for the heads up. Let's take a little sneak peek. I know. Tom knows what those are for. Tom, spill the beans. Spill the beans, Tom. I'm thinking airdrop you one of the vehicles from the experience. That's cool. Let me let's give a quick search for Thunderbirds. Oh. So where do you buy the pass? I don't see a pass here. They're gonna give some away in the Discord too? Ooh. So I searched Thunderbirds and it did not show up. Is it not for sale in the main marketplace? Okay, so we're having this rotate, and we have a small detection range. Let's see how it fares. So this time I'm going to bring it close enough. So it sends out that message, but it only rotates when I pick it up. Yeah, so it doesn't rotate if I'm holding it. Now, is there a way for me to drop it and then it rotates? Let's try. So I would like for it to rotate when I interact with it. I don't know if this will work the way I want it to. It'll rotate to look at target, so it'll probably face me if I'm interacting with it. So that doesn't really help. is there another way to trigger the detection when it's not in my hands? Is there another way to rotate it? Now, I can have it drop something that will cause it to rotate, but that's when a message is triggered. So basically, I'm looking for a way to rotate this to face my battery to where it looks as though it's like gravitating or attracted, like magnetized. And it worked fine in the previous version, but now we're trying to find a new solution. Now, because it's pickable, can't really do anything. Do I have any options with synchronized behaviors? No. So my next thought was to spawn an asset when I drop it, but how can I tell the game that I've dropped it? Well, if this has collisions of gravity, I can tell it when it's on the ground. That should be possible. I think I'm focusing too much on this rotation, and I don't think it's that important. So, instead, I think we should just kind of reimagine this without the rotation. Because it's not necessary. In fact, it was more of like a stylistic choice. So instead, I'm just going to hop into VoxEdit. And just make sure our plugs are facing the correct direction, which it looks like I was editing it. Now, because we're changing the rotation of it, this is the new orientation. They're going to be floating. They're also going to be pickable components. And they are going to have collisions. So right now I have the pivot point set to the very middle here. The question is, do I want it to be above ground? Well, if it's going to be using collisions, I kind of need it to be above ground. But that would put the pivot point at the bottom. Which would mean every time I interact with it, I'm interacting with this portion. I think ideally, I'd probably want it like this. And these are weird decisions to have to make. This is why I'm not much of a Vox editor. It's because I'm overthinking things. But I'm also thinking about things at Game Maker, so it's like, I guess it's the pros and cons. But yeah, I think we're just going to export it as is. I am very surprised that I didn't export this. Because it looks like I already fixed it. But it's reorienting itself. It seems as though animated decoration is Y. So it's orienting itself this direction because animated is set to idle. So I need to make sure when I re-export it again that it's saving without the animated decoration on it, because that appears to be setting it to this. Now I could also just change the idle animation to fit my needs. So we might. Box editors. Well, Zombie, are we gonna gang up on him? Come on, throw some shade. I'm just kidding. Ooh, and Hodl. Oh, Tom found it. Thank you, Tom. It's cheaper now. Oh, okay. Wow, they're scaling in price right now. I might pick one up. Are we sure this is the right one? This is an entirely different collection. I mean, it looks like the right one. Absolutely. Let's start a war, Wogue Zombie. You'll be War Zombie. I mean, it looks legit, but also looks kind of sketch. Yo, Fashul, how are you? Well, I'm biting the bullet. I'm gonna buy one. I bought the floor, which was $13. Because I believe Hodl and Tom. I believe them. So if anything bad happens, it's their fault. I mean, Tom, anybody can put a link. Nope, too late, Hodl. You've already given your financial advice. You've already given it. You'll be fine. Alright, says Tom. Okay, Tom, I believe you. Well, I definitely want to play, especially if OG says it was worth it. So, I'm going to struggle with this for a little while longer. And then we'll hopefully reach a stopping point. Now, yeah, it's good to note this. So basically when I drag and drop my plugs, they are currently registering the animated decoration. Now, there's two ways I can go about this. I could re-export it and make sure it is not set to animated decoration, but there's also the potential that this is now hard-coded into my asset. So now, no matter what, my asset will always use animated decoration as its idle. And what I can do is I can remove or rename this animation. And it should also, you know, help it change. So I'll probably remove off one, or idle one and idle two, or rename them. And then, ideally, alphabetically, just keep the hover vertical one at the top. So that's likely what's going to happen. And then we're, of course, also going to export with a different default animation selected. So this one needs to be the new default. And then our idle animation is just going to rename them. So we'll do like, it has to come after H because we're using hover. So we'll do horizontal. Nope, that would still be after hover. As long as it's not idle, we'll be fine. So it'd be, floor. Oh my gosh. Why are words that come after H hard? Plug. Boom. Done. Cool. So now I'll be re-exporting them, and not only will we have the asset with different animation names, we also will have a different default animation, and we'll ensure it's not set to animated decoration when we save it, because that is ruining our puzzle. Okay. So I need to have a to-do list here. So this is going to be to-do list, re-export plugs, re-export spinner. And then tomorrow we'll hopefully be able to revisit those. Let's check out my library. Regarding the open session of Venly on Thursday, who said they didn't believe you? But we can check this out. Damage control. This is by Venly Market. This is a marketplace. They're giving away 5 Mad Balls avatars. That's pretty nice. So during the live event, the winners will be announced. This feels scammy. I don't know why it feels scammy. I don't use Venly, but yeah. I don't know, man. This is 7 minutes old, so I guess that's a natural like and retweet ratio. What's up, Nicholas Mage? How you doing? Okay, Fashul. So you're confirming it then? If you're in the Discord, and this is all I'm saying is I don't know if this is their official account. Anybody can like impersonate an official account nowadays. It's kind of gotten easier thanks to Elon, so just be careful. But yeah, I mean, Fashul and Alina are vouching for it. That's giving away Mad Balls is a pretty big deal. I think everybody wants some Mad Balls right now. Okay, so this puzzle, we have a lot to work on with it, but it's in a good spot, so we should be able to make some progress on it today. So each one of these are going to be designed much like our eye here, and we want it to have the binary code overlaid on top. So we can see here, the code kind of appears as we approach, and then it's also overlaid in the middle. So we're going to try and reorient it, find a sweet spot, and then we're going to be duplicating it and basically inputting for every letter. And then the puzzle will be to go to the corrupted ones and bring them a book that has the exact same code. And it's kind of like playing Go Fish. So if in Go Fish, what you do is you match two together. So in this puzzle, you're going to be matching the binary code for I. And when you bring it there, it's going to fix it, and it'll turn the correct color. So it goes from orange to blue. So that means we need to change the indicators here. So in 0.8, indicators are currently bugged. So if I were to change this indicator to the legacy indicator, so we have a single player, we have a legacy, it does wipe the name, but that's why I duplicated it, just in case it would. Let's see if there's any difference. Well, first of all, it's going to be much more obvious further away. But there's already an offset discrepancy. I think what I could do is just raise this, though. It's definitely going to get a plant behavior. And ideally, I should probably use a logic asset instead. So we'll do visibility distance of 10, no display arrow. It is going to get a plant behavior eventually. And then we're going to place it right in the middle here. That's our original. We could just take a quick peek at the settings here. We had a 5 and a 2. So the offset wasn't really working for this one. But, I mean, it's relatively easy to fix. All we have to do is adjust it in the 3D space. Okay. Perfect. Ish. Maybe like another half down, I'd put it. I mean, that looks pretty good until you start zooming in. I mean, I'm kinda happy with it. I maybe would reduce the size a little bit. Let's try 35 and then lower it one more. Yeah, that feels natural. So the player would walk up to it, notice these numbers, be like, oh, I saw those numbers earlier. They'd run over, grab a book, bring the book back, and by bringing it closer, it's going to cause a sound effect, we'll have a V effect, and it's going to change this white border to blue. Which, is that border blocks? I think those are blocks. Which I think I should probably make a frame instead. Well, we could use the multi-behavior here. But I think that's a little bit risky. But I think for our first letter, we're going to try it. Now, I'm also going to have a book. Which is just going to be on this table here. This book has pickable. We want it to have the letter I. This is going to have a detector. That will basically say I detected. So when specific tag I is detected, a one-time event will occur. Message being sent. Okay, I don't think we've decided on a message yet. So we're going to start building those. Nicholas Mage, hope you're doing well today. Welcome. Yoke's on you. That's legit. Only disclaimer is that you need to have a Venly account and the NFTs get sent there. That's actually a very good distinction. Thank you, Yokes. Remind a tired brain, says Garnican. Why the multi-component risky? Multi-component? Oh. So multi has not been updated yet. It has crashed GameMaker. For me, sequentially, I think we had one day where I did like 7 crashes, and it was thanks to multi behavior. So multi and void, just in general, weren't working well. However, if I were to recreate the crashes, I believe it was because we were using an invisible block. And more specifically, because those invisible blocks were a custom block that I made after 0.8. So custom blocks were spawning, but if you had made the custom block post 0.8, it would crash GameMaker. So that was a experiment that we did in the very first weeks of GameMaker. So what we'll do is we'll attempt to spawn our invisible block here. I'll save it beforehand. And then lastly, I do want it to trigger on the message we make right now. So we'll do library .i.detect. Or library.detect.i. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah. The more I can understand a message at first glance, the better it is. At least for my own records. Oh, that's great. So I can't fill this entire space. There's no 2.5. No. That's just annoying. Okay. So we'll set up all those messages, though. So that's going to send out our library.detect.i. And that's when specific tag enters the space. Only once. Save. 7 Summits, how you doing? Welcome. Oh, that's cool, Tom. I think it's a fantastic idea. It's like an old scavenger hunt. So I saved it. Now, I think this is probably going to crash my game. So, Garnican, that's why it's risky. So, invisible blocks, or, okay, more specifically, custom blocks, will crash your game if they're made after 0.8. Paul! Not today, Paul. It's okay. What? So multi-behavior, it should work. I'll go ahead and change it to a default block, and it should be fine. So Tom, more specifically, when you spawn custom blocks. Paul, did you spawn them through a multi? So it's the multi that's crashing it, not the custom blocks themselves. So, yeah, I think that is the problem. So multi behavior spawning a custom block made after 0.8. So yeah, just to clarify. But yeah, your custom blocks will work fine as is. It's just multi-behavior. I think void is also okay. But yeah, just from our own experiments, multi-behavior spawning custom blocks made after 0.8. So here, we'll do 2 tests. First test, I'm going to spawn just a normal block. Well, actually, I'll do a custom block that we made earlier. So we had these corrupted water blocks. So these were made before 0.8 came out. Also crashed. So maybe it's just custom blocks in general then. But again, that's just the multi-behavior. How many crashes can I make in one stream, How many crashes can Halfd0rk do? Do-da-do-da-day. Oh! I mean, if you guys want to, do your own tests and then confirm or deny me, it helps. We can have a collective, like, oh, this worked for me. Oh, this didn't work for me. Alright, so now, and this is what I'm banking on, my multi-spawner should work with a normal block, a sandbox block. Is there a company named Sandbox? Because there needs to be. There is now! Sparky! New band name, called it. If you're close to the number crashes. Oh, I forgot about the mint. I mean, I have sand in my steak. I got sand in my steak. It's like saying I got snake in my boots. I got a snake in my boots. I got a sand in my snake. Alright, so I'm going to change this block to the meta blue ones. And now, we'll see if it crashes. If this crashes, then we're just not going to use multi-blocks anymore. We were able to use the water blocks, though, so it shouldn't. Okay, no crash. You all saw it here. You now understand that multi-spawners are crashing GameMaker when it's a custom block. Oh, my ladder doesn't work. What? Wonder why that's not working. Now, I wish I could do only this portion, but it seems to be one or the other. So, if that's the case, I'd rather just spawn a glowing asset behind this asset. I really don't want to mess with multis if I can't even use the multi properly. So I'm probably not even going to use multi, ironically. So I will likely be making a frame. And I didn't make it before. Oh, cool. Sandbox gave us NFT frames. These are new. Thanks, Sandbox. Thanks, Sandbox. I didn't even notice these. That's funny. But yeah, Sandbox is providing NFT frames now. Say, what? Yeah, Fred, right? Like, this whole time I've been making my own, but yeah, these just appeared. They have Sandbox game titled. So we have 256 by 128, so you can have horizontal screens. We've got a vertical screen. And we got a average screen and a large screen, so extra wide. Okay. Good to know. My multis, I'll keep this for now, but I'm basically going to go into Vox Edit and try and create that border that I thought we already had. Let's check out Vox Edit. Okay. So it looks like we do not have a frame for it. Did I make it in February or January? NFT frame. Okay. So this is the frame. Does it have... Okay, it does. So right now we're using a 188 by 188. Now if I'm honestly unsure of how large... Oh wait. No, I'm not. I forgot we have that calculation. So it's 32 times 3 times 2. So 192. So this is going to be background. M&M frame background. Go West! What's up, dude? They're testing video streaming. That's cool. Welcome in, Go West. Good morning to you. And Fred and Ferd. Happy Dad Funny today. Happy Dad Funny. Okay, moving on. So, frame background, edit. We're going to do 192 by 192. Now, these have a 4 voxel width. We don't really need that. But it could be useful, so I'll keep it. We'll go ahead and fill this. And then we also want to color it. So we want one that is using the violent coloring of Eon. I don't think I have these colors written down in my notes, but they are on Discord. I'm opening up Discord. Hey, Roxy Miguel. Good morning. Nicholas Mage, still confused. If I want a big logic that involves single player and multiplayer, do I need 2 lines of logic for each? I want a big logic that involves... So Nicholas Mage, if you're making a single player game, you can have both single player and multiplayer assets. Put it bluntly, it will work with either. If you're making a multiplayer game, you're going to want to stick to MP. Because the single player assets are interacting with everything on a client level. So basically, if I, as a player, were walking around and assets had single player messages, they would only interact with me, single player, Halfd0rk, only. Multiplayer, if I walk around and I'm interacting with multiplayer assets that have multiplayer messages, as Halfd0rk, it would affect everyone, so everybody would see the results of me interacting with something. That summarizes the difference between single player and multiplayer. So, yeah, just to preface, you can do both of those in a single player experience, and you'll have no problems. Everything will communicate properly if it's a single player experience. Okay, so I was grabbing the hex codes here. So this is the orange. We'll just paste it here. Now, what I could do is I can have this be both sides. So one side's orange and one side's blue. But I don't think that's a good practice. Because then I would have to like rotate it flip it around in game, and I don't think that's worth it. So we'll do MON-FRI background blue. Which, actually, I don't even need to do a blue background. I can just only have the orange. But I'll make it anyway, just in case I do want it. I don't have to use it. Unfortunately, we don't have that blue hex code. Crap. Does anybody know the hex code of the blue in-game? I guess I can try and grab it. We'll see how close I get. So I want the blue. This blue. So 00 quadruple F. Whoops. Well, close enough, I guess. Alright, so I'm going to add that as part of my to-do list today. I have to export this. So we'll do export blue background, export orange background. Looks good, though. Alright. So, in-game, I would like to set up a very brief demonstration of how this should operate. So basically, bring the book. I want to have a couple things happen. We're going to have sound effect. Usually I'll place a radio just in front of my logic donut, so I can at least visibly see, like, oh, this is the logic donut that is controlling the sound. Ugh, it's too bright. It's too bright. And then by the time the game publishes, the radio's removed. Oh, fun fact, I got to have a conversation with Cyber Dragon. He is working on some really cool stuff. Not my beans to share, but yeah, he's working on cool stuff. He doesn't like logic donuts. He actually still uses number pads. So he doesn't even touch these. He has a couple. He showed me he does use like 1 to 10. Like maximum 10. But all calculators. All number pads. What I'm going to use both. Honestly, having used them for a couple months now, it's they have a lot of flaws. Now, I've been able to figure out my own like workaround is to use the hierarchy. So basically touching two different donuts when they're so close to each other is very difficult. I'm sure a lot of you who are in Game Maker understand what I mean by that. These donuts have gigantic like collision radiuses. So like I'm clicking on the frame here, but the donut is what's being registered. So my solution is to use the hierarchy more often than not. And so I can correct these. So this would be like library.detect.i. And so if I'm searching library, I'll then have the list of layers. And so it's easier for me to select assets using the hierarchy because of these donuts. But ideally, I don't like how large these are. These are just like obnoxiously large. Time to call it bagels? I haven't seen it. Oh, launching bagel. Tom, you're just making jokes. Yeah, so Wug Zombie, you're just used to collision visibility. You know, Woke Zombie, you could just make a preset of a number pad with no collisions, no visibility. I hope that's what you're doing, because that was my least favorite thing about number pads, is you would put it on the ground, and then you would have to remove the button manually, you would have to remove the indicator manually, then you would have to manually go to no collisions, then manually click the eyeball. But, I mean, if you preset this, just as is, like, you're in a pretty good spot. 7 summits, that's a good sign. Thanks for the heads up. That is a very good sign, right? Right? I try not to look at crypto prices, to be honest. However, time to shill my coin. You guys want a free crypto? Alright, so the code word is going to be a phrase today. It's up on
Gordon
screen.
Ramsay Avatars Collection Halfd0rk.
Here's the code word. Make sure you spell it correctly. This is the only time we'll do a sentence. Mine? Alright, I'm looking to see who spells it wrong. I think all of you are good, though. You can do it! Hey, what's up, J-Dog? Welcome in. Okay, so... as you can tell, I've been getting distracted today. Sound effect. We want a cool sound effect for when we get it correct. Did you know they've been removing sound effects? It's kind of strange, but the clock sound they removed. Pretty, like, the generic sounds, they're missing a few. So, like, the UI sounds are all gone right now. I think they'll re-add them in a future version, but it's just strange. Yeah, click's gone. So, none of these show up for me. Maybe you guys have them still in your library. But, my streaming library, whatever you want to call this list of sound effects, is missing a lot of the generic, like the basic stuff. We'll do siren for now. I do like the siren. And it's going to be on received message. We'll keep it un-3D. I'm glad they changed this to be default false. It was always default true, which is just annoying. Message played. This is going to be multiple sounds. So, for example, the puzzle itself is detecting B-I-N-A-R-Y, so for binary. So all of those are going to be used in the sound effect. So we're going to do library dot detect dot I. So it's going to be 7 different letters here. Yeah, edit logic. I agree, Roxy. I hope they give us like an option to toggle that by default. I know some people it wouldn't be convenient, but you know, a lot of devs would appreciate it. And then same with behaviors. Like maybe to be able to just edit only behaviors instead of scrolling all the way down to the bottom just to hit the edit logic button. I would also like it if we could have a twiddle to where the twiddle is only doing the behaviors. So you can see here components does not have a twiddle. I don't know what that's called. I call it a twiddle. But yeah. So components doesn't have its own twiddle section, so I can't organize better that way. Messages are very difficult. We'll do library.detect.a. Cheat code is we can type it in the tag first. Now it's easier to paste. So binary. B-I-N-A-R-Y. Okay. So that sound will play when we bring the letter to the correct place. Cool. Now we also want a sound or a V effect. So the V effect ideally is going to be on a new asset that spawns that will also have the correct color of the other one. So in fact, I'll just duplicate this one. And then we're going to grab the correct color, which was 16 triple F, although I guess we could do 00 FFF. And so we're going to remove the speaker from this one. And instead, we'll give it a V effect. So on spawn, it will play. We'll do an explosion for now, and we could change it later. But message to turn on, it's just going to do it one time at the start. And we can do a replace asset here. So basically, when the eye is detected, it will swap itself for a preset of this, which was library.detect.eye. So we'll do library.correct.eye. Save this as a preset. Go back here, replace it with the one we've just made. And that's going to occur. It can talk to itself, which is fantastic. This is a 0.8 exclusive mechanic. Is if a broadcast type is set to all, it has to be all. I've tried the other ones, but it's worth trying them again, I suppose, in the future. But by sending it to all, it will talk to itself. So I can have this message, library.detect.eye, which is being sent from this asset. I can have that same message trigger this replacement. So we'll go ahead and save and give it a test. And then I'll also want to make sure my game audio is on so we can test the sound. Oh yeah, I should run that giveaway though. Cool. The replacement worked, the effect worked, and our sound effect worked. I don't like how this letter looks, but I think that's just because the background's so blaringly bright. I might even consider a different color, such as white. So let's try seeing what the white would look like. I would put it on the H for testing. Yeah, everything else worked as intended. We can delete that. We could try different sound effects, but not really too interested in that. Not at this time. So we got the number, very blatantly obvious, 010010001. We'll just assume this book says that 01001 blah 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 blah. And then bringing it close, it's going to destroy the book, so that'll be the next thing we do. And then it also is going to give us quest credit. So the quest credit will be a part of this as well. $9.14, rolling the giveaway. Good luck, everybody. Fashul! Thank you, Fashul. Cool. So everybody who is just talked, just by talking, you're entered in for our upcoming giveaway. GG! But yeah, congrats, Fashul. That is for the coin. So 1 creator coin going to Fashul. You are also going to be automatically input into our Dork Samurai giveaway. I'm doing 1 of those a day. So if anybody likes the Dork Samurai set, well, guess what? Just being here, just by chatting, you're being placed into a fun giveaway for that. So, that being said, I haven't been announcing anything about this Dork Samurai stuff on Twitter because I want you guys to get it, as selfish as that sounds. Like, I don't want randoms to get it. I haven't been very good at marketing myself. But, like, I'm not looking for people who just want a freebie to just hop into the stream so they have a chance at a freebie. I want you all to have it. So I probably will not advertise it. This is just something that you now know of, word of mouth, that you can win. Pretty valuable NFT here. The Dork Samurai chest. So it's the head, the legs, or the arms you can win today. And the way we've been structuring these giveaways is I have 2 of my creator coin giveaways. If you enter into one or both, your name will appear on the wheel of names. And then you have up to 2 chances to win. Oh, Wogue Zombie! I feel you, dude. I was crashing a lot last night. For the record, I was toggling on and off a defender behavior. I don't know. I'm not sure why I was crashing so much, but... So we have our stuff here. The book we need to delete once it's placed on the correct detector. So it's going to be removed via plant behavior. And then I would like to put a health component on it, but I don't think I can. We can also tell it to toggle. So I can toggle it. Toggling and plant behaviors. This is an experiment that I would probably spend like a day on. Would be having a plant behavior and a toggle and using these functionalities together. So for example, we should be able to toggle its kill potential with the library.detect. So right now, if it's set to on, it should delete it when I bring it close enough. And it does. So, if I disable it through the toggle behavior, it does not delete it. So this could be useful for certain puzzles. You're basically using this asset as like a key, and then maybe you could even have like 3 uses for the key. The key itself can be used in 3 doors, or some other functionality there. I think there's a lot of potential for that. So yeah, if any of you devs out there use that, I would love to hear about it. But yeah, for now, we'll keep it set to on. Do I want it to have a V effect? I think so. So we're going to pair this. Now, it would be removed. That actually looks great. What if I just have that going at all times then? So do library.book.vfx. This one's specifically I. Okay, we'll see how this looks. So the V effect is not active at the start, even though we enabled it start. So I think I need to set it to interact. So we'll try message to turn on as interact, and we'll see what happens. Cool. That's actually a great effect for our book. Now, how long does it last? Looks like by default it just keeps going. Okay, now what happens with the plant behavior? It does remove it. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. Now, ideally, I want the player to walk up to it and be able to read it. So that visual VFX can also serve as a message component. We can add other things to it. I know this one is just plant pickable toggle. So ideally, we want whichever one is on top, which is very likely going to be the VFX, to have a indicator. So right now it's using multiplayer visual VFX. It doesn't really matter which one we use, but I'm going to go ahead and swap it to single player. And then I'm going to use the single player indicator component. I'll go ahead and take that same code that has the correct numbering for the letter I. I'll change the color to 00 FFFF. I will have a quest cursor. Let's go ahead and make a sample quest. This will be library. Solve puzzle. And we're going to need death of tag library.corrupt. We want 6, because that's how many letters are in binary. The quest itself would launch when we walk in. So we want a detector. This will be library. In fact, making it more specific, I'll do quest.library.detect. And then auto-completion send message, we would probably come back for that. Alright, looks good. So now I want a detector that detects the player, sends out the library.detect, or no, quest.library.detect. So that way, all of my quests are going to use this kind of as a surname. What's the name that comes first? the given name, the for name. So it's a for name. I haven't used that word before. So, did you have it previewed? Oh no. Freddy, you trying to help Woke? Woke, press tab and just instant gone. Yikes. My game maker sometimes takes like 2 minutes and it scares me. I immediately save if I'm able to. Oh, sorry, Fred. Yeah, I get so distracted sometimes. I'm not always reading chat. But when the stun wasn't working, yeah, that's actually probably why, Fred. I'm like, why isn't it working? And yeah, it's I noticed that is a problem sometimes. If you leave it in preview, sometimes it doesn't show up. So yeah, good deducing for sure. For sure. All right, cool. So we're gonna do specific tags, include tag, avatar. When it detects us, it's gonna send out that quest message. My cat is yelling at me. Don't, too late, Fred. Already sorry. Garnican says, I did some tests, but I don't trust my results. If a timed event gets a start message while also running, does it restart or does it ignore it? So, I did something recently with my dynamite, but that's on a different account. You're gonna want to kill the asset, Garnican. That's the easy solution that I can like just say and tell you it works. I have a timed event, more specifically an animated decoration that is doing what a timed event does. And to reset it properly, I've destroyed it. So I destroy it, and that allows it to stop immediately upon that message starting it again. So basically, you'll want like a series of events to happen to where the asset is killed, respawning, finally sending that message to start it over again. So that start message, for example, Garnican, could trigger the kill message if one is already active. You follow me? That's my recommendation. That's probably what I would try first. Cold cuts and cheese! I love timed events too. Dude, animated decorations have a lot of utility too. Like, if you guys want to try something, like, to experiment with. What did you say? What? Check out animated decorations. Because you can have your play count always set it to 1. I don't know why that's not a default. That should be a default. But you can do receive message. You can even do detect player. I don't think I even have tried this yet. Hold it! Where's Escape from Artist? Is Escape from Artist here? I'm gonna screenshot this and send this to Escape from Artist. Because I have not tried that. And he always has asked about that 0.1. I'm gonna send that to him. But yeah, you can do receive message. And you can do message to play an animation. You can interrupt messages. You can do message at start, message at end. There's a lot of functionality here in the animated decoration. But yeah, the detect player or detect entity, I did not consider the detection range. So this is a new low in a good way. This is a good new low to have that 0.1. So that detection range is useful for a number of very specific needs, such as having like a detector going left and right, things along those natures. And message at start's pretty bad. Yeah. I use it sometimes. So for example, I can have 2 messages go from the same exact instance. So I can like have a diverging, like timed message. So like message at start, when the animation starts playing, let's just use the wolf as an example. Like he'll attack. So we'll say this animation is an attack. So when he starts the attack, a message has gone out. When he finishes the attack, a message goes out. So there's a lot of functionality there. But yeah, timed events, you can also customize super easily. I think timed events are also like their own amazing addition to your game. Because you can change the time. Just keep in mind, it's you can't do like half seconds or fractions of seconds. But you can send a message to specific tags. And you can also have multiple messages diverging, like the animated decoration. The biggest difference here is, unlike animated decoration, you're limited to 1 second increments. So that, I would say that's the biggest problem with it. But other than that, like it's perfect for most needs. Like in fact, it's probably going to be used more often than the animated decorations. Maxie, top of the morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Cool. Alright, so now we need an asset to give us quest credit, and then we also need this asset to have the book not be so tall. So I'm basically going to remove all the line breaks. Which, yeah, less than sign, BR, greater than sign, gives you a line break. So if you're trying to vary up your text, you can have it vertical by doing the breaks. So we found that a while ago. Oh, starting on the asset. Awesome, Maxie. Maxie, please do send me a quote. I would like that before you start. Just so, you know, we have, like, a reference point. It'll probably change, you know, depending. But, you know, I want to treat this not as, like, a charity situation. It's business. It's big business. Okay, so we have that, we have that. I need something that is dying. What will die? I will probably use that orange frame. So for now, I'll have a template. So this is going to be my killed asset. So I'm going to give it an asker behavior just to talk to me. So I use asker behaviors as a dev note. What's ironic is it says speaker name creator. I use that. I don't change that. When it says creator, that's basically me talking to myself in the future. So like exchange with the orange background health component needed. Plus credit for library. So I'll give this a health component, and it just needs to be killed on that exclusive library.detect.I. When it dies, it's obviously not going to be reachable by the player. What I'll probably end up doing is rotating it, because I'm imagining the frame right now. The frame might be reachable by the player here. Alright, we'll give it some more thought, but I'm at least going to set this up now. So we want library.corrupt. It's a corrupted. Ugh. Nope, just corrupt. Sonic Frontiers game. Who knew, says Sparky. Hey, I like old N64 music. It gets me hype. There's just something about it. Cool. Alright, everything worked. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Uh-huh. Okay, anything else I need to do with that? We have the sound effect, we have the V effect, we have the book. So now we're probably just going to be making more books. Now, my indicator wasn't exactly in a place I wanted it. So we'll do 5 and 2. We don't need a distance. We will use an arrow. Display over will also check mark. Now, I'll take a variation of this for the next letter. So we'll do library.detect.a. And so right now we're leaving the toggle on. But that'll probably get removed. I'll go ahead and swap in the correct binary code. But this time, I think instead, I'm going to try the legacy indicator. And I think the offset can be changed. So let's just try 0 and see what happens. And then display distance, disable, display over we want, interact VFX we also want, display name we want. Display interaction we'll set to just E. Personally, I prefer it when it doesn't say like E to interact, it's just an E on the screen. Linked ID we'll do library. I will also enable that for this one. And then we also want to change the name of it. Save. You live in a black hole where space-time approaches infinity, and that's offensive! Happy space-time to you. Is it space-time already?
G to the M!
G to the M! Escape from Artist in the house. Dude, I was just talking about you. And here is the thing, Escape from Artist. You know how you've always wanted a detector with the 0.1? I instantly thought of you when I saw this. Hopefully good, yes, good. In fact, something I think you'll find use out of. So you've asked for 0.1 detections. In the animated decoration, you can go to play on detect player, and you can adjust this to 0.1. So this is the only setting that I've seen with a detector on it. So the only other detectors I know about are message components. But this one has 0.1. So you could use this for your own needs. Maybe you'll find something. But yeah, animated decoration. So I don't know if assets without animations will work with that. So let's check out the logic donut. So the logic donut doesn't have any animations on it. But will it still receive messages? I will try. So we're going to do a quick test here. We're going to do play on detect player. And this is going to play the animation none. So there's no animation when I walk through it. So for example, we're going to do the 0.1 here. And I'll just put a sign directly on top of it. So at least I know where it is. We'll remove collisions. So if I walk through the sign, it's supposed to be sending out a message. And the detection range is set to 0.1. when I am detected, we're going to play count 1. I think that's a pretty important distinction there. And then message to start and message to end. So we'll try 2 things. We'll do detect.1 and detect.2. And then we'll just make a quick test here. I'll just take this VFX that we've already made. And we'll set it up to where 1 will detect 1. Duplicate it and put it on the opposite side. And then we'll have detect 2. Cool. So when I walk through the sign, we should see 2 lights turn on. That's the hope. Okay. Moment of truth. I'm going to walk into it because drama. Interesting. So, we got a message on start, but not a message on end. I'll just double check my work here. So the animation itself doesn't exist, but even though the animation does not exist, it's a none animation, we were able to send out detect.1. So message at start still occurred. So you can still have a message at start. Message at end didn't do anything. And it did have the correct message. Good enough, says Paul. Yeah, I mean, that's still useful. That's still very useful. So we can have message at start and a detector on an animated decoration that is using no animation. So it doesn't need an animation. Now, if I were to change this for, let's say, the wolf would then probably work as intended. We could change it to animated decoration. And this time we'll use an attack. Play count 1. We're going to do on detect player 0.1. Detect 1 and detect 2. So this one should work as expected. Both lights should turn on. Yes. So if the asset has an animation, it can do 2 different messages. If the asset has no animation, it can still do 1 animation, aka just send out a message on detecting you. When Gordon Avatar? Oh, is that right now? I'm not paying attention. Wouldn't you guys instead like to have Dork Samurai equipment? Wouldn't you instead like that? Because we're about to do a giveaway. Bow, 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 bow. Yes, sir, Dorkbot, sir. So, the code name, code word, it's gonna be dork with a 0. So, the giveaway is for a coin. I need to be very clear. I'm gonna type that in chat. Coin from this giveaway, then wheel of names after. I'm typing it into chat so nobody gets butt hurt. No salty Susans out there. But the wheel of names, you'll be able to win one of these 3. We have the Dork Samurai arm gear. We have the Dork head gear. And we have the Dork leg gear. So you'll be able to purchase these in the store right now for 24 sand. Or if you win the wheel of names, which comes after this giveaway, You'll get to pick one, and I'll send it to you. You can pick any one of these. On Friday, we're doing the body armor. So Friday, you'll want to be here. You got the golden and the green. Let's go. Thanks. 7 summits. Kay is going to love that. Support our fellow artists. Very cool. Sleek. Elegant. Alright, rolling the giveaway. It was a quick one. Garnican wins it. Let's go. Let's Garnican. Congrats, Garnican. Winning the coin. So now I will take this list of names. GG! We're gonna compile them all together and roll it. Also, Ice Pilot, hi. I don't know if you're here, but you're here in my heart. Alright, so Wheel of Names time. And Garnican, I did add 1 coin to your name. Yep, I did, just double checked. Wheel of Names. Alright, this is everybody. First number I see in chat determines how long the wheel will spin. First number I see. First number I see. Who's going to put in a number? Is it you? Is it me? It's 17. Thanks, Go West. Alright, we're spinning. Good luck, everybody. This is for Dork Equipment. A common. You can do it. Who's going to do it? Oh, it's going to be close. Oh. It's still spinning. Still spinning. Oh, it's literally on. It was on the line. It was on the line.
You make a choice to win, and you win.
You just win.
I'm sorry, winning.
Congratulations, 7 summits. GG. So you have won the Dork Armor's piece of your choice. So 7 summits. Which one would you like? You can have the headgear, the leg gear, or the arm gear. You won it. I know you have one, but that's just how the game works. You get an extra. You can give it away on your own stream, or whatever you want to do with it. Give it to a friend, give it to somebody in chat, or have it in your own personal account, your own personal collection. So take your choice, your pick between the arm gear, the headgear, or the leg gear. Honestly, the leg gear looks pretty dope. But I know the head is a current favorite. The hat! Let's go. Alright, I'm going to write your name down before I forget. Cool. And that's what Yolks on You picked yesterday. So Yolks on You was the other winner. 7 summits. Is there a particular... Nicholas. That'll be Fridays. Friday is the torso. 7 summits. Mountaineer. Winning the Samurai Dork headgear. Now, yeah, I'll whisper you about... Oh, you're going to give it away. Awesome. If you have a plan, please give it away there. I am happy to also give it away again, if you want me to. Like, if you want me to re-roll it, I can do that. But also on your own streams, fantastic idea. So, yeah, last thing I would want is just your PG wallet. Okay, PG wallet. Thank you very much. I wrote that down. Yeah, so tomorrow, same situation. You guys have really good odds here. I am not telling anyone, like, this is not going to be broadcast on Twitter. Like, I'm hopeful that someone who is frequently in the Sand Fam, is attending these streams, wins these. And that's you. That's all of you. I don't really market my streams. I just don't really want to be a streamer. It's weird. I just don't want to go all in on social media. I think is a good way to describe it. Hey, where's that Gordon Ramsay? Gordon Ramsay. Is it in the shop? We got meta bounty hunters. These look cool. You could be a meta bounty hunter. The art looks kind of busy. But the voxel asset looks great. Let's see. Can I go to OpenSea? Alright, risky click of the day, I guess. Here's OpenSea. Oh, Tom's got something. Oh, thank you, Tom. Tom's got the link for the Hell's Kitchen. Let me delete some of these tabs. Oh, we can mint. It's on the Sandbox website. Mint yours now. Polygon. No. Oh yeah, we've already seen this. Minting on March 15th. Allow list March 14th. I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about this, to be honest. Like, I like Gordon Ramsay as much as the next guy, but this is kind of, generic. Like, Mad Balls was tripping, dude. Mad Balls was awesome. Gordon Ramsay, there's not really a lot going on. There's not really much going on here. You get a tail. Like, it's literally the same character cosplaying. I think I'm actually gonna pass on this one. Yeah, I'm passing. I want a meta bounty hunter, dude. They are expensive. Holy cow, they're expensive. Those voxels are raw, says Gardican. Too much work. Yeah, Paul, I could see that. Angel Wings, Crown, Devil. Yeah, not Sparky, I agree too. Ramsey's look kind of not fun. Nicholas Mage also agreeing. Looks like Go West also influenced. I mean, that's my own personal opinion. Yeah, these are valued at $1,000. So, unfortunately, not in my price range. And the generic, hey, we've got pool of NFT weekly rewards. We've got a community. Man, that is not a good list of things you get from earning one of these. I don't know. There's just way too many NFT collections in general. You know, like you have to, at some point, draw a line in the sand and say, hey, I don't need this. In fact, that I don't need this can be said for a lot of things, especially just in general. But yeah, crypto and NFTs, you probably don't need any of it. But hey, not financial advice. In fact, it's just my opinion. You get to see it broadcast live as I form it. As I form my opinion. Yeah, pretty happy with all of this. My offset, I did want to check one more time. So this offset, I want to lower it. I would like the number to be like right above the book. So let's see if I can adjust that. That was the entire reason I swapped to the Legacy, is because this vertical offset should be adjustable. And it is. So the vertical offset, it is working for the Legacy indicator. Now let's try it on the single player indicator. Single player indicator doing a -2. Single player indicator does not currently work with the offset. This is something I discovered a while ago, and just as a confirmation here, the only one offset indicator that works is the legacy. The legacy can only be used, I believe, with single player assets. So legacy indicator, if I remove single player VFX, I think I can probably add either. No, okay, never mind. I was right. So only single player can be used with legacy. Ooh, Sparky Snickle! Yay, Sparky! Guys, we're heading over to Sparky's. Party at Sparky's! So I'm going to keep the stream going until Sparky goes live. Take your time, Sparky, no worries. Yeah, Paul, honestly, after Rabbids, I'm like happy with my avatars. Like, I don't need anymore. Like, I have enough shoes in the wardrobe, you know, Paul? At this point, it's just extra. Nice. Well, 7 Summits, congrats and good luck on your Gordon Ramsays. I hope there's like a cool event for the Gordon Ramsays. Very likely they'll probably have a locked experience too. Yeah, so all of this looks great. I just wanted to change it to single player. And we're going to make this as a legacy. Display interaction we'll set to just empty. Then we want the library quest cursor. Display distance we'll set to false. Display over will be over the environment. We'll do 5 and 2. Display arrows fine. VFX is fine. Yeah, and then vertical offset we'll set to like negative 1.5. I think that'll look better. Yeah, looks great. So the objective is to take the matching book and bring it. And get quest credit. Now, I don't really like the white arrow if I'm using the yellow arrow. So I think maybe I'll remove the yellow arrows. So no quest cursors for now. Now, ideally, I would like that VFX to be on until I touch it. Or I could just have it on by default. So I'm on the fence with this one. Tell you what, chat gets to decide. So new poll. VFX on books. Always on from start, or turns on when touched. Okay, that's that's a double entendre. An innuendo. In your endo. Turns on when interacted with. Feel bad, but better. Okay, quick poll. Go West, they usually do have an event that's triggered around the same time, like, is enabled. Oh, you got one? Nice, Tom. I want Gordon to co-star on the official stream when someone complains. Dude, Gordon, he's a character. As far as I know, like, he's also a nice guy. It's just he's playing up this character, you know? Because it's entertaining, for sure. Alright, time to make some books. So basically, we're going to have every single book. Yo, Fred and Ferd resubbing! Thanks, dude! Much appreciated. 7 months. Is that... Fred, have you been in the sandbox for 7 months? Like, or have you been a part of the sandbox longer? And thank you so much. I started December 2021. So I'm 15 months? About? Oh, you started when I did? Oh, okay, Fred. Yeah, 15 months, so I was Season 1. Basically, as soon as Alpha Season 1 started, I was making things. Okay. Well, it looks like On Interact is currently working. So we're going to set it to where interacting with a book is going to also send out a message, which will then turn off this V effect after a brief amount of time. Because I didn't like how it was like turning on and then staying on. So we're going to make a timed event here. In fact, I'll put it over here next to my radio. And we can even attach it here, so it's all on the same asset. Jazzwolf! Hey Jazzwolf, welcome. And thanks for the sub! The resub. Much appreciated. How are you, Jazzwolf? I just want to see him defend Panda. Garnican, not a lot of celebs have your respect, huh? May will be 1 year for you. Nice, Escape Room. But Escape Room Artist, you've been making rooms to escape from for years now. Go West, it's a lucky number. Good luck. Just noticed you're streaming. Oh, thanks, Jazz. Jazz, we're heading over to Sparky's. And so she's going to be showing us her skills with making an NPC. It is 10 o'clock, so I'll just keep her stream on in the background. And we'll be ready to raid on over. Cool, so we're going to make a timed event here. So that... Oh, looks like I clicked off of it. So we'll do timed event. That is waiting for a message. The message is going to be interact book. So when that interact book occurs, this will be reset. But we're going to have turn off the effects. So basically, I touch the book turns on. After, we'll say 3 seconds, we'll do library.book.vfx.off. This is a little bit longer than I would like, but this will help me organize my messages a little bit better. So I'm using the library for the first name, the forename. So chronologically, it's going to be in the library category. I'm using book because our library might have multiple messages. So we might have library.bookcase. We might have library.robot. So this time it's library.book. Well, I'm turning off the VFX. So I need both VFX and off. So yes, we're keeping all of those. Tag is going to go to book. We do not currently need a sub event. All we're doing is turning off the VFX for anything tagged book. So that's going to be our visual VFX, which is interacting, turning it on, so basically by picking it up. But then we're going to use the library.book.vfx off to turn it off. And we'll use book. So interact I don't have to organize, but the other messages I do. Interact is like a universal message. And this just allows me to immediately understand at first glance. Cool, so with that timed event in place, I should be able to pick this up. VFX starts, and then after 3 seconds, it should be told to turn off. Well, it's not turning off. Oh, I know why. Because we didn't set up a message to also receive and send out that timed event. So we're going to do a speaker component. The speaker component will also trigger the interact message. So that's going to be interact.book. So interact messages, generally I will keep basic. And in fact, they have their own section in my list of messages. So interact dot. Because I don't have any other books in my game, interact.book is fine. So we'll just use it for now. We'll remove it from saying any speech bubbles. Display duration will be set to 1. Look at target will be set to 0. Speak condition will be wait for message. Message required will be interact. This is the default universal one. Now I can also change my message to turn on. However, it doesn't matter because both will work. So I'll just keep it as is. So now after 3 seconds, it should turn off. Looks like Sparky's got the stream started. 2 minutes for hers stream to begin. Cool. So it looks like my book worked. VFX turns on, turns off. I like it. It's kind of subtle, but in a good way. Now I wonder if I can... There's a lot of things I wonder, but we're going to head over to Sparky's. So stick around for the raid. Thanks everybody for watching, just tuning in. Keep in mind tomorrow we're going to do another big giveaway for some Dork Samurai equipment. Same time, and you get double the chances if you're here early, and you just apply to the coin giveaways. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Unfortunately, my stream elements notifications doesn't work. It's like once a week now they're doing maintenance directly like on top of my stream, so that's unfortunate. So instead,
you're all free now.
You're free now. Yay! Yay! Bye.
Let's go.
Have a good one, everybody. Have a good Tuesday. My little Vox. My box of Vox. Thanks, Tom. Alright, go learn something with Sparky. You can't stay here. Toodles. Okay, bye. Wait, why are you still here? Okay, go! Go! Leave! Leave! Go! Go!